Hey, what's going on, guys and girls? Welcome to my first official video on my new channel, The Intelligent Investor. My name is Chris Patino, and in this channel, what I'm going to focus on and doing is kind of going through daily explanations on different rise and drops on certain stocks. And I'm also going to do how-to videos, how to learn how to invest. I'm also going to do videos that focuses on wide variety of stocks, from what they are, why you should invest them, why you shouldn't invest them. So I hope you subscribe to my channel, and I hope it's something that you find interesting and something that you're going to look forward to every day when I'm posting. In this specific video, what we're going to be looking at is Sundial. We're going to be looking at what the company is, why it has such a big rise in the last couple of days, and why it's been dropping today. We're also going to look at what you should do in case you're in a position or you're trying to get out of a position or you're trying to see what's a good time to enter. We're going to go through all that. So please stay to the end, as I will be giving very, very useful information at the end also on how you could get some free stocks to get started in investing. So let's jump right in. First of all, what is Sundial? Sundial engages in the production, distribution, and sale of cannabis products for the adult use market. It is also involved in the production, distribution, and sale of ornamental plants and herbs in the United Kingdom. So they make a lot of products out of marijuana, and they do it in certain countries. They're trying to make a breakthrough right now in the US, but that's something we're going to look at a little bit later, and that's what we're going to talk about, their growth. But originally, they're born out of Canada. And for those of you that don't know, most of these marijuana companies and weed stocks that people are investing to and that are available on the typical apps like Robinhood, WeBull, on most platforms, a lot of them are based out of Canada. And this is because Canada has always been one of those countries that has been the first movers in terms of marijuana. They have a lot of parts in their country where they incentivize people to grow and to make it. And I'm assuming they do this because I'm sure that the state government gets a lot of money in taxes for doing it, hence the reason why now the US markets and other countries are starting to follow. So most of these companies you're going to see coming out, they're going to be in Canada. And the biggest barrier for these companies is to get share in the US markets. That's why most of the stocks that are higher valued right now in the stock market are those that already have a good base in the United States. Typically, you'll find those companies in Cali or Miami, where these companies have been now running for a few years. But that's what most of these companies right now are trying to do, is get market share in the United States. So now that you understand a little bit about what Sundial is, let's talk about the current rise it had. And we're going to be able to compare that to where it's been before. And that's going to help us put this into perspective of what it is that we should do, if it's a good price, if it's high, or if it's low. We have to know where we've been to kind of understand where we might be able to go, and also understand why it's been there when it got there. This is my chart I have in Sundial. I'm going to pull it up on the 1-day chart just so you guys could kind of understand where it's been. So back when Sundial first released their stock, the IPO, you could see that this chart started in 2019. So this stock, along with many of these companies, they're fairly new. So for you to have an opinion, or for you to really say which one is going to rock and which one is going to flop, it's kind of too early to do so. And that's why buying into these companies, like you buying at the very beginning of some type of movement or industry. And that's exactly what we're doing. So you see at this stock opened at around 775, 770. It jumped up to around $13. Now, let me give you some backstory. Around this time, there was many weed companies coming out. And this is because this is when the United States started legalizing marijuana in many states other than California, in Colorado. But this is essentially when more of the Canadian companies was able to list their company on the US markets, and that went into a weed bubble. If you look at Sundial, but if you also look at other stocks like ABC shot to 150. Pretty much any weed company around this time was skyrocketing. Again, this is 2019, late 2019, so it's only about 2 years ago. Interesting to see how it would have been if COVID never opened and these shops were able to run fully. But now that things started calming down, and now with the legalization of marijuana worldwide, and now that the WHO legalized marijuana worldwide, this is why the marijuana industry now is a real potential. It's kind of how the crypto market was moving in the beginning, where for 10 years it had to go through phases of regulation and acceptance and people trying to understand it and you being able to buy. It's the same thing with the marijuana. Marijuana, if anything, has had the most backlash because this is something that that was trying to pop 30, 40 years ago, but the government decided that marijuana worldwide, I guess, is a bad enough drug or is a bad enough substance that they're gonna make it illegal. But now I guess times are changing, just how we see with many other things. And now that times are changing, we have to be ready to change with it and take opportunity in it, more importantly. So coming back to the Sundial, again, we see that it's been at $13. So my thing is, if these companies were able to get to $13 when it was just a hype, and again, hype moves things. We've seen that very recently. GameStop, Dogecoin. But things that move with a hype, obviously they're going to explode. But right now, again, we have legalization worldwide, essentially, or at least it's a decriminalized drug worldwide. Many United States are starting to legalize marijuana, and every state is trying to push for it. Pretty much every state has already decriminalized it. So we know now that it's time for the weed. This is like you catching tobacco. When tobacco was first starting off, imagine that. One of the most successful companies in the world is Marlboro tobacco. Imagine catching the next Marlboro, but in terms of weed, you are golden. You are golden going forward. To me, weed is a 5 to 10 year investment. Okay, we've been getting the current rise because of all the acceptance that we've been getting. We began the current rise because our president-elect Joe Biden has already expressed how he plans on kind of pushing this forward, and his administration pushing forward the marijuana laws so that we could live in the new renovated world. Along with that, they're doing many other renovations in other industries, but I'll leave that for another video. But that is what's giving this the current rise. Along with that, especially Sundial, this is one of the stocks that has been getting talked about in Wall Street Bets. Wall Street Bets is a Reddit group that has been pushing stocks. It's something very revolutionary. If you have not looked into it, I recommend you looking into it. There'll probably be a movie made on it very soon. It's an incredible group of people that they've been getting on the same side to get in a position to invest. I think it's amazing. And so this has been driving the stock up. But this is also why I wanted to make this video, along with many other videos I'm going to start making, is because people are making financial decisions and having unrealistic expectations because of these groups as well. Again, there's always going to be something very good in it, but there's always has to be a bad side to something. Yin and yang. And the bad side that I can see to these groups is that anybody could get into that Reddit group or one of their subgroups. And getting into that group doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be following people that know what the hell they're doing. Just because somebody made a big money on one move doesn't mean that they're an expert. Doesn't mean that they're going to guess the next 3 ones right. I don't think like that. Even although I've had an amazing career in trading and I barely ever lose, I always automatically think that there's a big possibility that I'm going to be wrong and that I might lose the capital that I invested into that stock, or it's going to take years to move up. That's why you don't invest with what you don't have, because you can't be stressing it. You have to be able to support the falls and the dips for a long-term plan. Again, this only has been moving for 2 years. So I'm looking at this like, okay, $2.52. This morning it was at $4. Everybody's probably rushing to get in, right? I always wait for the dips. I initially started buying when you see this first blue line of Sundial at 60 cents. And the reason why I started buying was more because of what I felt was logical and right reasons to buying it. Again, we're legalizing marijuana. This is the first time in my life that I see marijuana get acceptance. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, and I'm not from the best sides of Boston, Massachusetts, not from the worst sides neither. But if you're a young Hispanic teenager or you grew up around our communities, then more than likely around my time, you was probably exposed to marijuana, and a high percentages of teens, they've tried it or they consumed it on the daily. Okay. So being part of those groups of people that understand how marijuana got people in trouble. People went to jail for years over marijuana, something that's accepted right now. I'm looking at this like, holy crap, this is really the beginning of something, right? And again, you can't really predict what's going to happen in the future. The worst thing you could try to do is time the market. The way I like to see it as, I am not trying to give you financial advice because I am not a financial advisor. This is just for entertainment purposely, and this is just my personal opinion. Hopefully the ones that I know probably get something out of it, but what I'm about to say is not for you to go and buy any stock or for you to sell any stock. No, I'm not giving that. That's your decision. The way I like to look at things, okay, is I like to passively buy in things I believe. there's something in trading called a price cost average. And the goal for you is to always buy the dips and sell when you have an excess or percentage on your account, right? Why do you want, let's start with the selling, right? Because some of you might think, hey, why the heck would I sell something if I see a 10-year plan? Well, again, it all depends on what your plan is. I bought Sundial at 16 cents. So once it hit 32 cents, I doubled my money. Once it hit $1, I 7-8x my money. So once it hit $3 the last couple of days, I sold some shares on some of my accounts, right, to get some money back, because I also seen the market getting overextended. Let me also tell you that I've been trading these markets full time for over 5 years. I've been trading it part time off and on for about 10 years of my life. I understand a lot of the technicals, and I do Forex as well. So trading, getting moves like this on Sundial that people are going crazy over, Forex trader look at this like, okay, it's just another day, right? Because we get moves like this all the time on currency pairs because it's very volatile. And what we've been seeing on the markets recently is a lot of volatility. And the main reason for me making this video is because I feel like people don't know how to act with volatility, right? Because the main question you have right now with the jump that Sundial had is, damn, should I cash out, Chris? Should I buy back in? Should I hold for another 100 years? You're trying to figure out what you should do. And again, it all depends on what your goals are. Me, I'm holding, right? I cashed out on one of my accounts, but now that it's dipping, I'm buying again. Right, I buy when it's short. I sold at $3.75, $4 because I feel like it was overextended. And if you can see, I already kind of had this plotted out because I seen this as a peak price. We call it a resistance in like a ceiling in price. So I got out of here this morning. I also had some options. So I got out of some of my options, holding some very long term till 2023. But now that it's been dipping, I've been buying again. I took some profits and now I'm buying again. If it dips in the next couple of days, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be buying it at a discount, right? For me, Sundial has reached $13 when it really just going off of hype. So right now I can see it going beyond that in the years to come. Right? Even if it's not the number one, they should be able to get some market share in this. And especially since they have some hype behind them, people are now starting to recognize their name. People are going to keep looking the eye. People are going to keep an eye on them. And if the stock keeps going up in the next couple of days or weeks, or they start reporting good things within the company, then this should definitely over exceed that $13 price. So to me, anything under this is kind of a discount. And comparing them to where other weed companies are, like a Tilray that jumped up to 65 but has been at $300 before, or ACB that's at $12. If Sundial even gets to the size of one of those companies, or to get some market share like some of these companies and get the volume of buyers like some of these companies have, then imagine buying right now at 250, right? 250 looks like at a discount when you look at 13. And that's what you have to think about in this stock if you're in it to really invest and because you think that your money is better off here. Now, there's people that get into investing and are just getting off of what people are posting on Facebook and all that. And if you're somebody looking at this video and you have less than 3 months of financial experience, or you just start off with the stocks, maybe you can relate to this. And I'm not making this video to try to shit on you or, try to make you feel bad or discourage you. I think it's amazing that you're investing. I just think that you should use this push for you to really say, hey, there's really something here. I really made money. How can I catch the next move, but really kind of understand it, right? Because if you don't understand what you're doing, then you're not going to know, hey, I should get out here because it's a peak price and it might dip, or hey, I should buy here because it dipped down. But you're always going to kind of be holding something. And the worst thing that you can do also as a novice trader that doesn't know is you enter too small on the position and you buy a whole bunch of companies because you hear a lot of people talking about here and there. And then when something does explode, you're only up 100 and 200 bucks. Again, it's nothing really life changing or nothing that really increases your portfolio. So doing your homework just gives you a completely overall better experience. Okay. One of the last segments I want to talk about before I finish this is what you should do when it starts falling. Remember, one thing you should know is that the market never shoots up straight. It's very rare that markets move like this, like a Tesla, right? Or like a GameStop, right? Usually companies that move like a GameStop, let me pull it up, that moves like a GameStop parabolically, what comes up a lot of times like this is probably going to come down because this is all speculation. This is all hype. Again, for the people that's buying up here and still holding, man, I don't even know how many religions and prayers you need to know, right? They're probably calling out to different gods right now to push this market back up. But this is what I'm saying. This is the scary thing about what's going on right now also, is that people are getting misled, right? People are seeing messages, hold to the moon, hold forever. There's no way it could drop. We're going to beat the Wall Street guys. Like, again, I am for it. I love it, right? Because I'm a retail investor, right? I got profits on all those. Although I didn't take the signal from the group, all the stocks that I came up off of the Wall Street bets, I already had positioned in those months prior. You can see that in my trading history. Just like a Sundial did the other day that got that hype. But if you're buying off of other people's speculation, it's bad enough for you to speculate and kind of get something going up. But if you're going to do that off of somebody else that you've never met and that's just off of a random group, again, I feel like it's going to end very bad for you, because this story has played out many times in the past. You just have to look it up. This has happened before. When people get easy access to investing, when companies and apps like Robinhood and WeBull and Charles Schwab and all these things make it easy for investors and the barrier entry is low, no shit, the market is going to shoot up. More money is coming in. What those new investors aren't understanding is that they're are retracements in the market, right? So like a Sundial, again, Sundial, just because it had a dip today, that is normal for the market to react like that. And that's what I want the people to understand. So if you're in the position right now and your intention was to hold longer, don't get scared out of drops like this, right? You get excited over a big pull, but just because it had a little drop, don't get scared. Again, retracements happen and the market moves in waves and they move in segments. That's why us traders, we're able to predict sometime market patterns. But again, you have to be able to hold for these in order to get up here. You have to be able to hold for this drop before it gets to the next higher point, and understand that, okay? This is how the market moves, right? This is why not everybody makes money in stocks. Why? Because people get out here, right? They get out here. And if your goal is to double and triple up your money, then stick to your goal. Again, I'm not giving you financial advice to hold this thing forever. I'm just giving you my opinion. I'm just trying to help you probably understand all this a little bit better if you're starting off. And even if you have some experience on it, I have experience and I still have days where I'm unsure what to do, right? I'm unsure what to do. And sometimes I don't make the best decision, right? Sometimes I cash out too early. Sometimes I take a loss. Understand that's part of investing. If you invested in your first stock and you lost and you're watching this video, keep going, dude. Investing is not going nowhere. And what you learn from this is investing is the game. Investing is the game, and not just stocks, not just Forex, not just options, but real estate. Again, this, you're just stepping into the investment world. And so I think that is the best thing that you could have done. Okay. So a little recap from what we've seen in this video. I talked about a little bit Sundial, what it is. We talked about where it's been. So where it could potentially go. We talked about the potential that the marijuana business had, the current rise it has, and how you should take that in, and what you should expect from the drop. If you're already in this market and your plan is to hold, don't let short-term trends take you out of a long-time goal. And if you're somebody trying to cash out of this, then you have to set a goal for what you want to do. If you invested $100, what would you be satisfied with? And you can kind of do a little bit of both. If you invested $100 and now your position is worth $400, cash out half of it. You cash out $200, you make your initial investment, you get $100 in profit, and you still have $200 invested in the game for it to keep going. You can't take every investment thinking that you're going to get rich off every investment. That's going to have you thinking you're going to go to the moon all the time. It's not going to work out, right? It's all about percentages, you making money off of it and you making a profit. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. This is just my opinion. I think I'm a decent trader at this point. I don't think I have enough time in it, although I have a longer than most people. I'm still giving myself another 5 to 10 years before I try to do something professionally, open something, depending on my results. Till then, that's why I'm trying to prove it to myself and to potential investors what I can do. But for the meantime, I am going to be making more of these videos. So again, hopefully this video wasn't that long, but I feel like it's as long as it had to be. If you do find this video and this information relative to you, or you find it interesting, or you learn something off of it and you think you could get more out of my next videos, please subscribe to my channel, hit a like, which it helps me with the YouTube algorithm, and hit the little bell right there so you get a notification when I launch my next video. I'm going to do my best to try to upload at least a video a day, either focus on the company, focus on a potential move, or talking about something that just happened. If you like the way that I did this video, please let me know in the comments below. If you have any suggestions for me to do anything new, you're catching the very first video in this channel, so please be easy on me. But I am very open to hearing recommendations and knowing how I can make this channel better. And if anybody wants to hop on the channel with me, do a little interview, talk about stocks, somebody that probably has experience on this, is up on any stock, hey man, I invite you to come into my channel, start this new revolution I'm trying to start here with helping people understand finances better and not just catch the hype. And I hope that you just keep supporting my work, and I will keep supporting your investments. Thank you very much for watching this video. My name is Chris, and I'll see you on the next one. Guys, thanks again for tuning into my video. As promised, below this video, I'm going to leave you a link so that you can sign up with Robinhood, where you get a free stock once you invest $100. You can also get 2 to 3 free stock with WeBull once you deposit your first $100 with the links below. I'm also going to leave you 2 additional links, one for Coinbase, where you get $10 with your first $100 buy in crypto, and you can also get 10% on all your purchases when you deposit your first $100 with Binance and start trading around the crypto markets. These are excellent brokers that you can use to start your investing career. I have personally used these brokers for 3 to 5 years plus. Most people use them. They're very popular, so I definitely recommend them. And if you have any other platforms or brokers that probably you use and you recommend that you know that are safe and that other people might like, please let me know in the comments below, and we will look into them and see if we could offer them in the future. Thank you.